Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. My name is Mike Ian. For today's video, let's talk about some of the movies and TV shows that I'm writing right now. Before I actually start the video, please pardon if you see I have watery eyes or a runny nose. I'm suffering from allergies right now. I forgot to take my allergy medicine. But let's get to the video. If you've been following my channel, you know that I'm trying to become an actor, and I've actually written a Spider-Man 2099 live action movie. So there's also projects I want to write myself because it's things I would like to see taken into movie form to share with audience and to share with everyone. There's just things that I'm writing that I would love to see happen someday. If you haven't watched the Spider-Man 2099 video yet, or the actor video that I released 2 weeks ago where I talked about how I just moved to LA to become an actor a matter of weeks ago, you should go check those videos out too. But right here I'm going to be talking about the movies and other TV shows that I'm writing at the moment. Now, as a little disclaimer, I'm writing these as a passion project or personal to me. So I'm not exactly writing these because I'm on an assignment for any studio. Why would I be? I haven't even gotten any jobs or roles yet. So, I haven't been contracted yet by anyone, of course. These are things I'm making myself that I hope someday I can pitch to studios or something like that, get them to be made, execute them, and get it done. In terms of my writing background, I've always been very good in my writing and English classes growing up in high school. I was always really good with that. That was always a strong suit. In terms of creative writing, I learned a lot from someone named Brandon McNulty. Is it Brian or Brandon? I always mix up if it's Brandon or Brian.
Hey, get out of here! This is my house! Oh my god, Brian, what happened? Who did this to you? Did you do this?
I watched a lot of his videos and I learned a lot about so many things structures of writing and all that. A lot of things about characters and all that. So that's also where I get my I guess some of my knowledge for writing. But let's get into the actual projects themselves. One, let's get the obvious one out of the way. I wrote a Spider-Man 2099 live action movie. You can watch my past videos to learn more about that. But I'm giving you a very quick rundown. Rated R, superhero movie. The movie is set in Nueva York in 2099. Just watch the other videos. It's not really worth me going through Spider-Man 2099 here. You can watch the videos I've dedicated to that. Number 2, and this script is completely complete, is a movie I call Splash Zone. This one is a comedy romance, rated R. Don't worry, it's rated R for language basically only, and violence I guess, but mostly language. This movie focuses on a character that I named Jaime, which I would hope to portray Jaime in live action. He's recently graduated, he's 18, and he's just moved out of his parents' place in Roseville because it's kind of an abusive house. It's a lot of arguing and all that. So he decides, you know what, screw this, I'm out of here, And he moves out, he goes on his own, and he gets a job at a water park. And that's where he meets the other main character, Sabrina. Sabrina, the 20-year-old daughter of the owner of the water park. And, the two meet. That's their story. I'm not going to get too far into it. The soundtrack is something that I'm really focused on. It's actually a blend of a lot of 2010s nostalgia, from when I was growing up, things that were popular when I was growing up kind of music. So some things like that, some things a little bit later, maybe 2018, when I was already maybe how old was I in 2018? Was I I don't even remember how old I was it's whatever. It's music from when I was growing up and maybe 1 or 2 songs from different eras. I forgot to mention Sabrina herself has her own motivations and that she wants to be able to own the park someday, own Splash Zone. She wants her father to pass on the park to her because she has the knowledge, she has the wherewithal to do it, but her father has other plans in mind. All right, now for number 3. Number 3 is a movie I call Primal Dawn. I really hope there isn't something else named Primal Dawn already, a video game or anything like that. I didn't search it up beforehand. Primal Dawn is a rated R horror and adventure movie. For this movie, think of a combination between Jurassic World and A Quiet Place. In a world where 95% of the world's population has been wiped out, the main character, which is another character I would hope to portray, he helps a woman and her younger sister go through this treacherous land of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs have taken over the world, kind of like where Jurassic World Dominion, there's a lot of dinosaurs around, but this one would be the more harsher realities of it, and it's they've much more taken over. It's much more of an apocalyptic world rather than coexistence, if you will. Like I mentioned, this is rated R, and it's kind of I've always wanted to do something like this because I always thought there needs to be more dinosaur horror movies. I'm sure there's some that exist, but the reality of walking among dinosaurs, imagine living in the Jurassic or the Cretaceous era. You know how horrible that would be?
Alan, we are so fucked.
I try to bring some of that reality into this movie because I always wanted to do a depiction of that. I always thought it would be a good grounds for a horror movie. I'm more of a fan of I don't know if Quiet Place can be considered a slasher. I think it's more atmospheric. The premise of it is really interesting to me. It's probably my favorite series of horror movies. So, shout out to John Krasinski. Maybe I can work with him someday. But I digress. Movies like that, I've always liked that kind of horror. Not just your typical slasher, there's one person going around, I also like psychological horror. So basically all I want to say is this is a dinosaur horror movie that I think has been long overdue. And now for the TV show, well, honestly, this is the only TV show on the list. There's only one TV show I'm trying to write episodes of, and that's going to be a TV show I called Ganas. Ganas, which is a Spanish term, which, it's kind of hard to translate it into English, but it's kind of hard work and the drive and like the perseverance. It's like a lot of things mixed into one. Now, Ganas is a football underdog story. And before I get any confusion, it's football, soccer, you know, soccer in the US, football everywhere else. I'm gonna stop mentioning it. I write these with the intention of me being the main character in every one, by the way. So just like, you know, just know that for the rest of the ones. I'm probably still gonna talk about it. But anyway, I imagine the main character is gonna be from Huntington Park, an underdog story that plays, he's a man that just plays pickup games, you know, he's a young adult, and during the days, he works his job, during the nights, you know, he gets to practice. He still has that dream of become a soccer player. This comes because I used to watch a show called All American. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons. I always imagined I wanted to see an underdog story for a soccer player, you know? If you watch my video about me in sports, you might learn about a little bit of my history with soccer, but I'm very knowledgeable in the sport of soccer. Should I say knowledgeable? Rather, like, you know, I just know a lot about soccer. I have a favorite team. I have teams I follow. I'm keeping up. Sometimes I watch the games. I grew up playing FIFA when I first got a PlayStation. The first games I would buy were like FIFA.
It's not over the line. It's not totally over the line. That's not a goal. Look at the white bits. Look at the white bits. That ball, that's a goal. But why did it suck me in like that?
The last one I bought was FC25. I decided I'm gonna stop there, but always a big career mode fan. I like career mode is where it's at. But I digress. I know a good amount about the sport, and I always thought I want to write like a TV show underdog story about this. Now, of course, this show wasn't just gonna be about the soccer story. It's also gonna be about his personal life, maybe a few other characters around him. I think it could be rated PG or TV PG. Maybe TV PG-14, I still haven't figured that out. I'm still writing this one, it's not complete. I forgot to mention that Splash Zone and Spider-Man 2099 are the ones I've completed. The rest of the ones that come after in this list are things I'm working on at the moment. Like I said, Ganas Underdog Story TV show. Love to see if that could ever happen someday. And the last movie I'm here to talk about, something that'd be set in James Gunn's DCU, hopefully, is how I'm writing it. It'd be really cool if I could pitch it someday. And that's going to be Vulcan. Vulcan isn't really that popular of a character. His name is Miguel Devante. He does exist in the DC comics. Unfortunately, I haven't read the comic yet, but I have been able to, you know, read summaries about his stories and all that. And, you know, I wrote Spider-Man 2099. I want to be Spider-Man 2099, but this would be another insane superhero role to do. Now, Vulcan, rated R. Again, sorry, I do so much rated R, mostly the language. But it would be something that's set in the DCU, like I said, and it's the story of Miguel Devante. Not his origin story, because we're going to pick up with him already having the powers, but more so going to be where he starts his story of becoming a superhero and not just a super powered person. This is going to be heavily changed by me. This is something I've heavily changed. And I hope that doesn't come off in a bad way, because for one, I haven't really read the comics that much. I've read the summaries of what happens, little things like that. I've learned enough about the character, you know. It's not like I'm going in there with nothing. But I've learned as much as I can, you know, for free about the character. And I like to think, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy.
There's a button under the handle. Press that in.
Okay. Now what?
Open the fucking door.
James Gunn did a good amount of changes from the comics, like to adapting them to live action. And I hope I can do something like that where the changes I make can be seen in a positive way. And that's, again, not to say anything about the comic. I haven't read it. But, you know, I've only learned about the things I can learn for free. I think it'd be a really cool story. I'm writing it right now. A little bit harder to crack. I had like half the script and I was like, you know what? I'm not happy with this. Let's start all over, start from scratch, new villain, new everything. And I started all over, and I think it's getting a little bit better at this time along. That's going to end the video there. Like I said, make sure to check out my Spider-Man 2099 video, the video where I talk about how I just moved to LA to become an actor. My next video, which is going to be in 2 weeks, I'm going to be talking about a little superhero game, or superhero zombie game I played. It's called Infinite Lives. I definitely played a lot of the games from this developer as a kid, so I want to talk about the game a little bit. With that being said, please follow me along as I try to achieve my dream of becoming an actor in LA. Work hard, be mighty. Have a great day, everyone.